Every time we're about to do something important, every time we have an important decision to make, there is this little voice inside of us that says, I can't do this. This is too hard. What if I fail? What if people think I am not good enough or smart enough or worthy enough? And it's that little voice that keeps us from doing great things, that keeps us from living the life that we're after. But how do we shut that voice up? Today's episode, we are going to look at a powerful way to harness our emotions and live the life that we want. If you like this video, you will love the podcast. So check it out after this video. Also, hit subscribe because we put out videos like this one every week. I've spent almost 2 decades studying the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, and I have learned a lot from it. But there is one idea that stands out above all others. And no surprise, it's also the title of my book. It's called The Obstacle is the Way, and it's based on a quote by the Stoic philosopher Ryan Holiday. And it means whatever your goal is, whatever you want to achieve, the obstacle to achieving it is also the thing that will help you achieve it. So what does that mean? Let's imagine you want to be a musician. You want to play the guitar? You want to learn how to sing? Maybe you're in a band. Maybe you want to start a band. The obstacle is the thing that stands between you and your goal. And for a lot of people, the obstacle is their emotions. They feel self-conscious. They're afraid of what other people think about them. They're worried they don't sound good enough. And so those negative emotions, that self-consciousness, that insecurity, those are the things that prevent them from pursuing their goal, prevent them from playing in front of people, prevent them from learning how to play an instrument or sing. But those same emotions, when controlled, when harnessed, can actually be used to achieve their goals. Musicians who have overcome shyness, who have overcome stage fright, who have overcome the odds, they tell us that those emotions were what fueled their desire to succeed, what made them practice harder, what inspired them to get better. They took those negative emotions and they turned them into fuel for their success. That's the essence of what it means to embrace the Stoic way. And here's why it matters. We're living in an age of distraction.
If you're watching this video, if you're listening to this podcast, you know what I'm talking about.
We're surrounded by technology, by social media, by a constant barrage of information and entertainment and stimulation. And it's easy to get distracted, easy to give in to the temptation to watch just one more video to scroll down, just one more feed to indulge in just one more thing that will bring us temporary pleasure, but ultimately distract us from what we really want to do with our lives. When we embrace the Stoic way, when we learn to harness our emotions and use them as fuel, instead of letting them distract us, we become more resilient in the face of adversity, more focused on our goals, more disciplined in our actions. We become better at controlling our own minds, and that's an incredibly powerful thing. It's the difference between being a person who is tossed around by the whims of fate, by the circumstances of life, and being someone who is in control of themselves, who can face whatever comes their way and still come out on top. So let us talk about 3 ways that you can embrace the Stoic way and master your emotions so that you can live the life that you want. No, one is that you need to find meaning in your suffering. This might seem like a strange idea, but stick with me here. When Marcus Aurelius, who is arguably the most famous Stoic philosopher, was writing his book Meditations, he was in the middle of a brutal war. His armies were killing thousands of people. He was making life and death decisions every day. And yet he wrote these words: "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He knew that even though war was painful, even though it meant that people were suffering and dying, there was a purpose to it. There was a meaning to it. He was fighting for his empire. He was fighting for the people he loved. That gave him the strength to keep going even when things were really tough. We can apply this idea to our own lives as well. When we embrace the Stoic way, when we learn to find meaning in our suffering, it gives us the strength and resilience to keep going when we're feeling down, when things are tough. We need to ask ourselves, what is the meaning in this? Can I learn from it? How can I grow from it? When you do that, it becomes easier to bounce back, to pick yourself up and keep moving forward. Number 2 is that you need to focus on what's in your control. A big part of embracing the Stoic way is learning to differentiate between what is in our control and what is not in our control. When we focus on the things that are within our control, our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, then we're less likely to be distracted by the things that are not in our control, the things that are beyond our power, the things that are beyond our influence. Let's imagine you're preparing for a big presentation at work. You've been working on this presentation for weeks. You've put a lot of time and effort into it, and you're really nervous about it. You're worried that you're not going to do a good job. You're worried that people are going to laugh at you. You're worried that they're not going to take you seriously. All of these things are not under your control. They are beyond your power. What is under your control is how you react to these things, whether you choose to focus on the negative or whether you choose to focus on the positive, whether you choose to see the opportunities for growth, whether you choose to see the chances to improve. When we embrace the Stoic Way, we learn to focus on what's in our control, become less reactive, less knee-jerk in our responses. We become more intentional, more deliberate, more thoughtful about how we respond to the things that happen to us. And that gives us more peace of mind, more clarity of thought, more freedom from the distractions that would otherwise pull us away from what we were trying to achieve. And no. 3 is that you need to practice self-discipline. Self-discipline is essential to embracing the Stoic Way. It's the ability to resist temptation, to delay gratification, to push through when you don't want to. It's the ability to stay focused on what's important, to stay committed to your goals, even when things get tough. And the truth is that we all have this capacity for self-discipline within us. It's not something that we're born with. It's not something that we're naturally good at, something that we develop, something that we practice. When we embrace the Stoic Way, we make a conscious effort to develop our self-discipline. We set goals for ourselves. We hold ourselves accountable. We celebrate our successes and learn from our failures. We push ourselves to become more disciplined, more focused, more resilient. And as we do that, we become better at managing our emotions, better at staying on track, better at achieving our goals. And that's what it means to embrace the Stoic Way in a distracted society. We are bombarded with temptations every day, with distractions, with things that would pull us away from what we're trying to do, from the goals that we've set for ourselves. But when we embrace the Stoic Way, when we learn to harness our emotions and use them as fuel instead of letting them distract us, then we become more resilient, more focused, more disciplined. We become better at managing our own minds. And that's an incredibly powerful thing. It's the difference between being a person who is tossed around by the whims of fate, by the circumstances of life, and being someone who is in control of themselves, who can face whatever comes their way and still come out on top. So I encourage you to embrace the Stoic Way. Learn to harness your emotions and use them as fuel. Learn to focus on what's in your control. Learn to practice self-discipline. And in doing so, learn to live a life that you're proud of, a life that's meaningful, a life that's true to who you are. If you enjoyed this video, you will absolutely love the podcast. So check it out after this video. Also hit subscribe, because we put out videos like this one every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.